Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We'll jump in the queue, and in the meantime, never mind, there is no meantime. Nameless Surf. I never know, do they actually want to be called Nameless Earth, maybe? Like, there's only 2 S's, not 3, so... I don't know. Oof. Doom Drone, Antima Comet? And then, like, defense grid after? Honestly, Antima Comet might not be that great with Polywall around. And you also kind of want to not build it so that you can deny your opponent arms races. So given that none of that is happening, what exactly is the plan here? There's a lot of soak, right? Polywall, perf, fibroid. I can't remember what the name of this thing. And there is a big absorber. But do you really want to be committed to 3 green in this game? There's a lot of cool stuff you can't really get if you have 3 green. And I don't know. Arms race is sort of good against defense grid because they don't really need defense anytime soon, and it helps you get up over the absorb barrier quickly. But if they go defense grid without having gotten a comet, they can just like bury you with engineers, right? I don't know, it's such a big commitment to have GBBBA or CBBA, whatever. I feel like the defense grid might just like not be very good. But you don't want to rush out arms races because your opponent can murder you if you do. And what other attacker are you really building early? Nothing, right? Tarsiers. So I think you go for the 3rd engineer. And Polywall and defense grid are there to discourage opponent from doing anything too crazy. 4 engineers, wow. I mean, Doom drones will do that for you, I guess. I could get a 4th engineer myself, replace 1 drone with a Doom drone, but I kind of want a blast torch? No, I don't. I want a conduit. But oh, I'm not gonna get any of those things if I can only spend $9 on drones next turn. Yeah, let's just build all the regular drones. Grab a conduit. I don't know when you're going to find time to get a grid, honestly. Is Forge what I want first? I guess it's fine. Opponent will build a splitter, I can build a wall. And then I can like also build an Animus to get some Tarsiers or threaten Comet. I could get a Doom drone instead of a drone here and pick up a 2nd conduit. Green is pretty okay this game. And there's Gauss charge as a sink if you decide you don't want it anymore. But I'm already going to have 3 forges, right? I don't like that very much. A comet is just not going to be very good against polywalls, I'm pretty sure. And if you build it, you give your opponent the option of Building arms races, which they didn't really have before. So I think that this comet is not a thing he's going to actually build, right? Okay. Come at me, I guess. So how much are we actually being attacked for here? They can buy 10 more Engis next turn, but there aren't 10 left. There's only 8. So they can attack for 21. Well, let's see. They buy 8 more. They have $4. They can't buy any attackers with that. So attacking for 22? Doesn't seem like a problem, honestly. Buy a couple perfs. An early polywall. And then next turn I can like double polywall. I don't mind. Yeah, no, you should buy Engis, not arms race. Oh, 23. I miscounted somehow. Whatever. I can't double polywall because I didn't buy another forge. Whoops. This is fine though. Let's buy another one of these to just act as enough soak to keep my Engis alive. So I can keep building Doomies, and then I can hit them with the double arms race. Maybe double arms race was ambitious. But like, against this, you have to build arms races, right? They're getting no use out of the Engis you give them. Oh my gosh, if you can't arms race me, I'm thrilled. It gives me more time to defend, right? I think you should arms race me. Or Tesla, sure. Get with the program queue. They don't have an Antima coming anymore. It's okay to build these arms races. Just wanted to double check that. Yeah. I'd like a defense grid, but not yet. This maybe is too much green. I don't know why I thought I wanted so much. Well, because I wanted to be able to force field and still double arms race, right? But maybe it's better to just hold some Doomies instead. I think I'll go for the force field double arms race business. And I'm always threatening Antima, right? Which means it's pretty hard for them to get arms races, I think. And I'm way up on drones. Their main advantage is all these Engis, but I don't know how long it's been since I saw 32 engineers on one side of the field. Your Tesla is going to have a field day. I can't argue with that. But, oh, they can't Tesla again. I didn't realize that. That's great news. Maybe this extra conduit was too much because I can hold back a splitter next turn. It's not like attacking with it does a lot. So I should have actually plenty of defensive tempo. But I decided it was like fine because Gauss charge, right? So. And I'd like, if possible, to get a third Blast Forge next turn, because this is about when defense grid is going to be good. "39 engineers! What a game!" Right, they now have enough real attack that the defense grid is going to start looking good. And they'll probably arms race against that, but that's alright. Well, if they do arms race... Sorry. If they arms race against after I build the defense grid, that's probably fine. The question is, like, what can they do to stop me from getting the grid? That's what I need to worry about. But I have so much tech and so much green that I think I should be fine on that front. I can, like, build fibroids as prompt soak if I need it, and perforators as slow soak if I want. I mean, you'll be getting full absorb value out of the grid, but you have 40 engineers. Oh man, what a game. So like the defensive tempo that you're getting out of defense grid is not worth very much, is what I'm getting at. And they currently have like 4 permanent attack, and a Tesla is what's getting them over the absorb barrier. I don't know. I guess in that context, a second Tesla seems reasonable, because you're already over the absorb barrier, assuming you're clicking the Tesla, which, like, with 40 engineers, it would be a crime not to. This seems alright. I'll have 1 engineer left in front of the defense grid. Yeah. Just press Q. They finally pressed Q. Or maybe they pressed Q to begin with and the animation was so slow because Q defense doesn't know what to do with 40 engineers. I don't know. Oh, plus I have 2 dying Doomies in front of the grid as well, I forgot. So they're attacking for 11. This lets me keep the Engi alive, which is fine. I don't really want a Comet. And I want to get rid of my red, probably. It's Gauss charge not getting much value. It will take a very long time to see any impact from having bought the Gauss charge. I can buy it later and have the same effect, right? So I should clearly float it. It'll still kill an Engi later. Ooh, did I hold too many Doom Drones? Do they get value by not clicking Teslas? If they hold both Teslas, they deny me some absorb. But holding just one doesn't do anything. So I think they should probably click them both, especially given that, like, the engineers are not worth much to them. You would have a free perforator hold here if you wanted, or a free splitter hold, although you wouldn't want that. And I need to be careful about, like, not... Buying polywalls is likely to be bad. They can, like, exploit by attacking it and not giving me defense grid value, right? I'm absorbing for 7 here. So if they just deal 6 damage, yeah, I can't build polywalls at this time. Is it time yet? The Tesla's not really pressuring that much. They still have a lot of engineers left over. What could I do instead? Splitter, Gauss Cannon, Engie? I'm up 7 drones. That's my main advantage. And I'm gonna be up a lot, well, I'm up 6 real drones, and like my Doom drones have more lifespan. Oh, Tesla's especially bad this turn because they are absorbing for 10? I'm already attacking for way more than that, actually. So that's not relevant. Maybe this should be a Tesla. 8, 10. Well, this is 16, right? So starting next turn, they're gonna have to buy defense, so a Tesla is pretty good against that, I think. Third Tesla! Wow! I don't know about that. Like, the amount of real permanent attack they have is only 6. But, you know, so they could, like, hold all 3 Teslas and deny me value by clicking this polywall. But is that really good? I'm not so sure. On the other hand, I don't need it yet, right? I have plenty of walls. Get that last Doomy, they're good. A force field, probably. Engineer, sure. The question is, can I get this last Tesla? Seems good. They're suddenly under a lot of pressure, and they're burning their own engineers. Oops. Gauss charge. Yeah, sure. In fact, I should probably cut this and get Gauss charges. I like this. They're suddenly under a lot of pressure, right? And this really accelerates it. Yeah, I'm looking pretty desperate over there. Okay. So I think, oh, let's look at the stats. They should be exciting. Yeah, big comet for sure, but in a set like this, this comet is just like not relevant. It doesn't do anything. You want to get it much later if you're going to get it. And by building it, they allowed me to build arms races, which were great. Right, like arms race is fantastic post Antima Comet, right? Your opponent really does not need any more engineers, and so you're just getting like very cheap attackers with no real downside. By building the Tesla, the Antima, they gave me permission to build some really great stuff. So I think this was a fine 4th engineer opening. Like, Doom drones are really good, and why not get them? It's a high econ game. I don't disagree. Forge first is fine, I guess. I would still prefer a conduit first, as you can see. Just because like there's a million things to spend green on here, and building a splitter right away, like who cares? And then they like stopped droning to be like, we got him, the Tesla coil. And God, I keep like words. I don't know what units are called. The Antima Comet is coming. I think this turn was a blunder. Everything before this seemed fine to me. But this set has a lot of defense. And this could be okay if you wanted to build Arms Race, except that, like, if you do build Arms Race, your opponent gets a big ol' Antima Comet, right? So this game, I think, was also decided in the opening because they just stopped too soon. I picked up this Animus for a couple of reasons. One is that, like, Perforator is fine soak. If the opponent actually goes through with the Antima, you will want them. Even though I think they shouldn't. It's like, what else are they doing here to win? They kind of have to beat me with Antima to win here. And if they're going to try to do that, I'd like to have Perforators. The other is that, and I think that this is really not necessarily a good reason, but when you are threatening Antima Comet, let's say when you plan to build an Antima Comet, you generally want as late a comet as you can get without your opponent weakening the comet, right? The longer you can build before you get the comet, the more effective it is. Although actually here they emptied the Engis supply, so maybe this was late enough. So anyway, you want to delay comet, fine. And so something that players often do is they threaten comet, and as long as their opponent doesn't respond with a comet setup of their own, they just say, LOL, just kidding, not going to build comet, do something else useful with this tech. Say, Tarsiers. Whatever. Whatever is useful in the set. Here, there's not much that's that useful. If you do threaten comet, they say, boy, second comet is way worse than first comet. I really need first comet, and my opponent threatens to buy comet next turn if I don't. Therefore, I must buy comet. So I was thinking, I want my opponent to comet as soon as possible. Thinking about, like, the fact that it's wrong to build it too soon, and, like, I have a million soak. And imagining that they would get fewer Engis if they built it now. Although we've actually droned up for so long that they can buy a maximum comet even now. So that my plan of, like, trying to encourage my opponent to buy it early was sort of maybe misguided. But that was why I did this. One reason. In addition to, like, Perforators being good, and I want an Animus eventually, and I need to spend my drones, my gold on something. So I got this. Maybe could have picked up another engineer here, actually, to, like, let me build more Doomies or something. But I needed... Yeah, I needed all this stuff, too. I don't have $2 left after doing everything this turn, so... I think it was correct to float the 2, although I don't think I did it for any good reason. My opponent buys the comet, buys a bunch of engineers, fine. Actually should have, I think, since you empty the Engi supply anyway, and then bought a Doom Drone, should have cut one of these Engis for a Doom Drone this turn, and then next turn buy the Engi, and you'd, like, have $1 a bit sooner. It would have been better to count, like, hey, can I, after emptying the Engi supply, do I have any money left? And if so, try to spend that money sooner rather than later. Here you could do that on a Doom Drone. Got these Perforators in the Polywall. I had this weird illusion that I was going to double Polywall because I thought I had more blue. But this was actually fine because Fibroids are in the set. I didn't really think this through ahead of time. The fact that I would be building Polywall double Fibroid, I just, like, thought my opponent's attacking for not enough that I care. but I didn't just like get lucky and stumble upon Fibroid, right? They were one of the things I considered when saying, look, I can just absolutely stomp an Antima Comet in this set, right? I said Comet won't be good because of Polywall, Perforator, and Fibroid. And here I got 2 Polywalls, 2 Perforators, and 2 Fibroids, right? Like, so this was sort of the plan on turn 1, even though I really should have thought through a little bit more clearly on turn 7 the details of the turn 8 plan. Yeah, and then they just gave me permission to get a million arms races. And keep building Doom Drones, they're pretty good. This turn was, I don't know. Green is good, but I think I should have counted a bit more and realized that holding a splitter would let me defend. I wouldn't need a force field. Then I could have built some more engineers last turn, not needed the ones this turn, and gotten Doom Drone instead or something like that. But I don't think it matters that much. I'm very winning here, right? I'm up a bunch of attack and up 7 drones. Well, my Doom Drones are dying sooner, so not exactly 7, but around there. My opponent has in exchange 40 engineers. Like, that's not nothing. 40 is a bigger number than you usually see for anything in Prismata. But you know, if you wait long enough, x squared always catches up to x plus a million, right? Like, and that's sort of what my opponent has here. They have this sort of short-term stuff that they're not getting, that isn't inflating, isn't compounding. It's just like a fixed amount of value, whereas what I have an advantage in is generating value every turn. And my opponent, I think, still really can't arms race because I actually do threaten to Tesla them. God! Antima them. And it'll be a whopper of an Antima if they give me any arms race engineers, I think. Plus, it just relieves all the pressure their Teslas are applying. So I think that it's pretty clear. They were correct not to buy arms races here. Both keeping the Antima supply in reserve and there were 2 reasons that they shouldn't buy arms race. One is that I still have Antima in reserve, and the other is that like what they're doing relies on killing me very soon. And arms race is the opposite of that. And you know, I squeezed in the defense grid. Everything was like amazing. Defending was super easy. I bought perforators to get rid of my red, so I'm like really over-teched here. But there's a red sink, there's a green sink. Spending all your blue is a bit hard, but you know, it is 28 income. Walls are fine, splitters are fine, Teslas are fine. And yeah, once their engineers ran out, they just really didn't have anything. So a few little slip-ups where I didn't really calculate things through ahead of time enough and did something non-optimal. Or something that turned out to be pretty good, but just got lucky. Like, thinking I was going to build 2 polywalls this turn was clearly a bit misguided. But it turns out I didn't need them, so there. And I had a lot of green, right? I could have force fielded as well if I needed it. Was something that was on my mind when on turn 7. Like, I don't need to do the math. I have force fields. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, an interesting game. It's always nice to choose an asymmetric strategy and win with it, right? Or a different strategy than the opponent. Like, it doesn't look that different, because we both ended up with a bunch of drones and, like, a bunch of base set attackers and a defense grid, but my base set attackers came from arms race, and he had a million engineers, and he got this Antima, and, like, I didn't get the Antima, so it was actually, I think, an asymmetrical game, even though the end state looked sort of similar. How we got there was an important difference. and choosing to decline, not decline, what is it? Omit, not buy the comet. What's the word for that? Overlook, pass over. Forgo. That's the word I'm thinking of. Choosing to forgo the comet was a big decision in this game, and I think a pretty easy one, although my opponent disagreed. But I think that was the main thing that led to winning, was not buying comet. So it's always cool when that happens. Alright, well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.